So some of the things about really getting, looking at silver linings of things, and this is hard to see the silver linings now because it's very stressful, creates a lot of fear, creates a lot of anxiety, and all of that is very natural. But it also creates opportunities. And so one of the things the other day when we were talking, just taking an overview of Souderton. So one of the things that you have going for you, and this is the part of like who moved the cheese, is that you have roughly 2,600 homes in the borough with a median income of $70,000 per household, which translates to $182 million of disposable income. So not that all of that income will be yours, but I just wanted to illustrate like how much money is actually resides within your community. And I think if you switch to the next slide, there's a book called Who Moved the Cheese, which is a great sort of inspirational business book. And I would recommend everybody, I think you can purchase that online, but it's very relevant to today. And the book talks about, it's an overview of mice in a maze. And what's happened in the book is in the maze, there was like one section of the maze that always had a pile of cheese. So none of the mice ever had to really go anywhere in order to find food. And so like today, suddenly now, and same in the book, all the cheese disappears. So it's the reaction of, the different mice and their different personality styles about what they do to find more cheese. And some of them believe that, well, if we stay here, there was always plenty of cheese. I'm not going to go try something new or venture out. Where some of the other mice venture out right away. And I think that's kind of the situation we're in, is that, we can't wait. This relief, while well-intended, is not reaching down to the small businesses. So, one of the things, if you go to the next slide, I think that we can really do is, declaration of purpose. That in Percy, we really announced that, we were open for business, even though it's a new social distance or, a new way of imagining what the business is. And one of the things, so that's something you as the bid and you as the Main Street can do. And I think, even as the borough, if, on their websites and things, promoting that, you need the whole community together to keep the businesses intact. And that's what creates the intimacy and bond of your community. So one of the things, if you go to the next slide, one of the things we initiated in Percy was Buy in the Borough First campaign. And we had done some marketing studies in both Percy and Collegeville that tracked, what people were spending and where they were spending it. So in Percy, for example, 2/3 of the residents were dining outside of the borough and spending $10 million a year doing that. And in Collegeville, the number was even higher. It was $30 million a year that they were spending out of the borough. And so some of the things, I like to talk about the bubble of prosperity, that if every one of you, all your businesses, your families, like if you can look for ways in the borough to buy things versus shopping online for things, it has a ripple effect throughout the entire community. And the other thing is that people want to support the community. I mean, people are proud to live in Souderton, and I think, finding ways for them that they can help you. And, I'm sure you're doing a lot of these things already. If you go to the next slide. So one of the things here, there are links about, ways that you can sell items, instantly today. And so this is through Facebook, eBay, Etsy, Pinterest, Instagram. And there are links on there. This is on our Facebook page. But if you go to those links, it will, and Christina and Liz can help you also, guide you, set some of these things up if you don't have them already. But these are all relatively free. They're easy to do. And I'll talk a little bit more about Facebook here in a second. But one of the things, if you go to the next slide, is about phishing. And this was a really inspirational book for me, this book called Rainmaker. And essentially what this does is creating your own luck, or, in Indian cultures, you'd have rain dancers. So how do you create rain? Well, one of the chapters in the book talks about what is the most important part of fishing. So if you're looking to catch fish or create new business for yourselves, is the most important part the boat, the reel, the rod, the bait. And the most important part of fishing is going where the fish are. So if we're looking at fish as our customers, where is everybody? Well, they're all home right now. And that's why it's very important to, look for ways online that you can engage and connect with your customers. So if you go to the next slide. So one of the easiest things is Facebook. And, some businesses have Facebook pages in varying degrees of engagement, but there is a link, this Facebook for Business, and there are a lot of components that you can do on there. So part of it's listing your business, the phone numbers, the websites. If you have some of these other assets, like Instagram and things. But some of the other important things to do for this on your business site is it allows you to target through what they call Facebook ads, and allows you to market to very direct demographics. So for example, for say $10 to $20, you can target all the people in the Souderton zip code. And what that'll do is it'll, when you put this $10 ad, it'll say we'll reach, 6,000 people for $10, and then you target that, and everybody kind of within that zip code will start seeing your business promotion. An example of that, where I live in Doylestown Borough, and there's an Italian restaurant up the street, and they do that. And so what happens when I pull into my driveway every day, it pops up, they have like a Monday night cheesesteak special, for example. The other thing that's great with the Facebook ads, say if you own a bike shop, that you can put in key search words. So say if you want to reach, 10,000 people, and you type in the search words bicycles, health, bike trails, all sorts of things. Then through these algorithms, it targets the type of customer users that you have. And then also on your Facebook, then you can put products on there that are actually for sale. So they have a thing called Facebook Marketplace, which allows you to sell on there or link to other sites that do sell, like Shopify. But you can also sell directly on there. So one of our Percy businesses, it's called Treasure Trove, and it's an antique store. So they've been posting little snapshots of antiques and collectibles every day and the prices, and then people can just message them directly back. So that, I think, is probably the easiest fix. And the homework that I would give everyone is, go on, Liz can send you the links to this, but, go on there and they can help you directly walk through that. And we oftentimes will do this Facebook or FaceTime chats and walk people through, and you can show us, like on your computer screen, what the choices are and where to put some of those informational components. So one of the other things in Percy, what we've been doing, and this was really an initiative from their borough council in ways that they could directly help the businesses. So at first, when everybody thought this shutdown was 2 weeks, it seemed like everybody was just kind of hoping to ride it out, or somehow there was free money from the government. And, the realization is that, we have to, find a different way to do this. So what we've been doing is going direct to each of our businesses. And this is an artisan gift shop and gallery in Percy's downtown called Chimayo Gallery. And what I did was help walk them through not only some initiatives on their Facebook, like we just talked about, but also they had a very nice website, but it didn't have an online sales component. So if you have the opportunity today, go and look at that. And we set this up in one day. So this on their website, which I believe was on WordPress, there was an add-on to their website which allowed for this online sales component. So what they did was, photograph. They have jewelry and pottery and sort of handmade gifts. And ever since then, they've been, posting these online every day. So they have it on their Facebook and they have it on this site. And prior to that, what they were doing was just kind of really relying on the community to come do some curbside pickups and things. And during the day, they might have $50 in sales. Well, that's not enough to sustain yourself. And part of going on this, creating a more online presence, and with their Facebook, they can now market to a national audience. And I think that's really the key, for all kind of small retail businesses, that, creating a sense of that you can be independent of the walk-in traffic, because, this might be a long road here. And so, people are home and they have, some people have money and they're looking for gifts. And if you go to the next slide here, one of the things that I had recommended to them was doing something that I called personalized cyber shopping. So with the owners of the gallery, through FaceTime, we walked around the gallery and, we bought some gifts for my mother. And so my sister and I, we could walk around, we could look at things, and then they put something together. And then with the post office, she was able to ship it to my mother, and, with a nice little card. So those are the sort of things that you have some natural, holidays and gift ideas. Father's Day is coming up. But just even things for birthdays and, other things where people are buying gifts. So this is a new client for us. It's called the Artisans Gallery in Peddlers Village. And they have a very unique situation that Peddlers Village has about 2 million walk-in visitors a year. And so this gallery, they never really had to market because they were busy just because of the location. And so what we're working on with them is creating a new online sales website, helping them on their Facebook. We did some social distancing photography of their gallery and their products. And so that's probably going to be up within, hopefully next 3 or 4 weeks. And same sort of thing, they have, beautiful products, but, one of the things they, surrounding Peddlers Village, you have some of the, 3 very affluent communities, Solebury, New Hope, and Buckingham. And they've never marketed to these people at all. And so other things that we were doing, they had their 200 best customer list. So we helped them craft a letter to their best customers. And then also on their Facebook ads, same thing, that they can target these very affluent communities surrounding them.